Hey guys, it's 681 Shadow. Welcome to my ReZero Arc 3 Interlude 3 Part 4 reading. Now, I know it's been like a few weeks, I think, since we read the Part 3 of Interlude 3. But I decided to get back into it, and also, I think I'm going to try to make these a weekly series on Wednesdays. So should be going up tomorrow from when I'm recording this. So, if you have not seen the previous one, if you want to see my reaction to part 3 of Interlude 3, then be sure to go down in the description below to the playlist. And also, if you want to read on for yourself, if you don't want to wait for these each week, then there's a link to the actual website in the description below as well. So without further ado, let's get started. The atmosphere in the lounge froze. Only Subaru's mind was heating up. Taking in those words, he pondered a moment, quietly licking his lips. Dissolve the alliance? What are you trying to say? Exactly what it sounds like, Neon. As things are right now, our alliance would not be mutually beneficial, Neon. Perhaps because Subaru kept his composure. Felis's expression revealed a touch of admiration. Rather annoyed by Felis's expression, Subaru wondered if Felis was setting up the alliance as a bargaining chip to gain an advantage in the negotiation. The more he thought, the more he commanded himself to keep calm, but even so, his head was nearly boiling. Mining rights aside, we coordinated our efforts to defeat the White Whale, and after everything is done, now you want to go back out after reaping the benefits? That's a bit scandalous, no matter how you look at it. More detriment than the benefits, Subaru-kun. Ah? Compared to Subaru's aggressive attitude, Felis went on casually, wagging a finger. Nyan, gluttony and greed appearing together for starters. After killing Sloth, an alliance with Emilia-sama's camp will only make us targeted by the witch's cult. Considering what happened to Krush-sama, do you still believe it's in our interest to form an alliance right now? That is... Glancing towards a completely different Krush, Subaru hesitated to counter Felis' argument, because deep in his heart he was carrying the same wounds. This time, it wasn't Subaru who refuted Felis' words. I disagree, Felis. Leaning forward in his seat, Wilhelm's stern gaze stared into Felis' eyes. Felis' eyelids narrowed, let out an with a thin smile. Okay, so I think's going on here is that like Felis is like, okay, the alliance doesn't help us as it doesn't help both of us equally, so we should just get rid of it. But of course, Subaru and now Wilhelm are looking at the morality of that because they've been doing this to defeat the White Whale and they were able to take out Sloth together. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. So let's keep going with this. What do you mean, Jan? After what Gluttony did to Kush-sama? What do you think is the benefit of an alliance that will draw the witch cult to us? To kill Gluttony, an opportunity to avenge our master. Vengeance? Is that more important to you than Kush-sama's life? Against Wilhelm, Felis refused to give ground. Weighing heavily on both their minds were thoughts of their master. If we continue to deal with the witch's cult, this disaster will only repeat again. Kush-sama right now can't even protect herself. When the day comes, if it's a physical wound or emotional wound, Felis can heal you, but if you die, it's all over, isn't it? But we cannot remain idle while the offender roams free. Kush-sama's memories, when we defeat the Sin Archbishop, there's a chance they will return. To give up this early is far too rash. Defeating that bastard will bring the memories back? I say, Wilhelm. Do you think lost memories can be brought back by killing the thing that ate it? Are you daydreaming, or do you think there's some kind of fairy tale where Felis? Wow, so we've never actually seen Wilhelm get like defensive and everything like that, which is interesting. With an ear-splitting roar, the swordsman's oar resounded in the room, as if a gust of wind had swept in. Was the sensation felt by everyone present. All wincing from the shock, only Wilhelm's keen gaze remained intact. Felis, what you said just now, never utter it again in front of Subaru Dono. I'm sorry. Called by his true name twice, Felis closed his eyes with grief and remorse. The others turned to Subaru, who was already sitting once more, his hands clenched tightly, faintly trembling. Blood seeped through the gaps between his fingers, as if about to cover them whole. Emilia-tan. Don't worry, I won't say anything like I understand or it's alright. Even though I want to understand how you feel, that forgotten child, because I don't understand anything. No matter what I say, it won't be fair to you. Subaru looked up into Amelia's violet pupils that flickered with sadness. In her eyes he saw a reflection of himself, in all his weakness. Is that the Natsuki Subaru she sees? As if saved by that tender regard, Subaru shook his head. To say something like, it's alright, even if I rip my mouth apart right now, I won't be able to say it. I won't be able to say it, but I'm fine, fellas. Don't worry about it. I will not give up. As long as there is the tiniest fragment of hope left. Really, Neon, Subaru-kun sure doesn't like to give up. Watching Subaru trying to act like he was fine, Phyllis's countenance broke down into a smile, but his position remained unchanged. As for Phyllis, Neon, I don't agree that we should continue the alliance. I will return Sama to herself. Just watch. So something like vengeance against gluttony, we should just set that aside for Neon. What should we do, and how? Sama, you must decide. It is not in our position to do it. In the end, it all falls on her. Both their eyes focused upon her, and Krush, as if understanding, nodded. There's still plenty that I do not know, and what I was before, I cannot remember. I want to tell you now that it will be disorienting being around me. But even so, I thank you for placing in me your esteem and trust. And if I could, I want to live up to that expectation. For that, I shall try my best. Despite losing her memory, it seems her strength of character remained. Just what is the core essence of a person? Seeing Krush like this one more, even after forgetting everything she knew, Subaru could not help but ask himself that question. But as to the alliance, there's no better choice than to put the negotiations on hold for now. In any case, if the one who holds all the key information concerning Emilia Sama's faction, Margrave Rosewall, isn't present, then there is nothing we can do, Neon. So for our next negotiation, let's hold it on the condition that Margrave will be in attendance. Yes, that is for the best. Then this meeting will be a secret. So pretend there's about something other than an alliance, Neon. Fellows shot a sharp gaze at Subaru, saying this in an unusually low voice. Subaru swallowed, but seeing no reason to disagree, he nodded. From their perspective, this decision made sense. If Krush's current condition is known to the public, her status as the most competent candidate will vanish. In fact, the repercussions of Krush's amnesia becoming public knowledge of the same magnitude as the prestige of slaying the white whale. It is for precisely this reason that Anastasia wasn't invited to this meeting. Regardless of Julius, Anastasia will certainly use this information to her advantage. Good thing Kursama's condition hasn't been seen by those kids of hers. She will be present at the victor's negotiations. What do we do about that? We can make an excuse and say you're unwell. Phallus will think of something. As for Subaru-kun, your side just needs to keep the secret, understood? Requesting only silence, Phallus would not allow any further entanglement between their two factions. Subaru, noticing this, only nodded. In the end, the meeting concluded without any progress whatsoever. Acknowledging the desperation of their situations, more than anything else, these two factions are aligned in the uncertainty of their futures. And that is the end of Part 4 of Interlude 3, so thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Let me know what you thought of this part, and I will see you all for Part 5.